Hello everyone, welcome. We're taking a look at our CAMI document for 3.5. So at the top of the document, you will see a spot to write your name. So go ahead and add your name there. And we are comparing linear functions. So we're going to look at two MCAS questions. That's on page 1. Here's another one on page 2. And then we have some practice questions that I pulled from Khan Academy. And there are 6 in total. So we're just working through 6 problems here, practicing comparing linear functions. So this is the students at a middle school want to hire a DJ for the end of the year dance. And the information below can be used to find the total cost of hiring the DJ at each of the 4 different companies. So we have Awesome Entertainers, Turntable Tunes, Cool Beats, and Rockin' Sounds. And it wants us to figure out which one has the greatest rate of change. So, of course, we remember when we see this word rate of change, we're thinking of slope. And remember, slope is our rise over run. We think about it as our change in y, that's our rise, divided by our change in x. Okay? So for the first one, we have a graph. So we have a point at 0, 0 and a point at 2, 160. So the rate of change for this first one, to go from one point to the next, we are going up 160 and over 2. So for every $160, that's for 2 hours. If we divide this to simplify, we get 80, which means that Awesome Entertainers is $80 for every 1 hour. Great. Let's look at the next one over to the right. As the hours increase by 1 on our table, our cost is going up by 40, it looks like. $40 each time. So here, this is $40 per 1 hour. Interesting. Down below, Cool Beats, option C, it's $300 is like the y-intercept. That's how much it cost automatically. And then we do $35 per hour. So we see that word per tells us that we're talking about our slope. So our rate of change there is 35 per hour. And finally, Rockin' Sounds said the cost of hiring a DJ is represented by this equation. C equals 45H plus 250. C is the total cost. H is the number of hours. So whatever is in front of that input is our rate of change. So here it's $45 for 1 hour. So the greatest rate of change is going to be 80, which is Awesome Entertainers. And it says explain your choice down below. So take a second to fill in that box. Why did we choose Awesome Entertainers? How could we summarize that for explaining your choice? Now, this is great practice at taking the math that we did and putting that into a sentence. So I really need you to practice this part on your own of taking that math and putting it into a sentence explaining your answer. You're gonna have to do this to get full credit on this assignment, okay? We did the math. How can you explain what we did in a sentence? Once you're all set, you can scroll down to page 2. It says the total cost in dollars, Y, of a membership at 4 different health clubs or gyms are represented below in terms of X, which is the number of months. So we have an equation, a table, a graph, and a sentence. And it wants to know, again, which one is the greatest rate of change. So, for Health Club A, here's our rate of change, or our slope, right in front of that X. So it costs $12 per 1 month. Beautiful. And it also has a $60 startup fee. That's the Y-intercept. Health Club B, no startup fee, $0, and then you just pay per month. So it looks like it went up 21 and continued. Yep. So this is a little cheaper or more expensive per month, but it doesn't have a startup fee because it's $0 if you don't go 0 months. Health Club C, looking at these points here, we have 1,40 and 3,70. So we would do 70 minus 40 divided by 3 minus 1. Our change in y, 70 minus 40 is 30, and our change in x is 2. 30 divided by 2 gets us $15 per month. Lastly, it says a customer pays a one-time fee of $20 and then $20 each month. So there, each, we see each or per, that always tells us we're looking at our rate of change. So that's 20 per month. Looking at these 4 options, our biggest one is Health Club B, which has a rate of change of $21 per month. Again, take a second to put that in a sentence explaining your choice. How did we pick that? What did we have to look for in each health club? What were the options we got and what was our solution? Beautiful. Question 3 wants to know which one has the greatest y-intercept. So we have g of r is our first function and h of r is our second function. For g of r, our y-intercept is 7. That would be the point 0, 7. When x is 0, y is 7. For h of r, our y-intercept is 8. So that's the point 0, 8. So which one is greater, g or h? That's going to be h, because 8 is greater than 7. Beautiful. Scroll down to question 4 when you're ready. We have f of r is 5/4 r minus 1. And then we have this equation p, this graph here. Which function has a greater y-intercept? So when we are in our slope-intercept form, that b value is our y-intercept. In this case, for f is a -1. So again, that's the point 0, -1. And on our graph here, p, it's crossing the y-axis up here, right? Here's our y-axis going up and down, and it hits that y-axis at 0, 7. So our y-intercept for function p is 7. 7 is definitely greater than -1, so we're going to choose p. Scroll on down when you're ready to question 5. We have a table and we have a graph, and it wants to know which one has the greatest y-intercept. Well, y-intercept, we know, means that our x is equal to 0. So if we look in a table, when x is 0, here's our y value of 8. So that y-intercept is 0, 8. Looking at our function h, it crosses the y-axis at this point, which is 7. So our y-intercept for our graph h is 7. Therefore, g is greater, 8 is greater than 7, so we want to select g. Last one here is question 6, and it says, which one increases faster? So when we're talking about increasing or decreasing, fast or slow, we're thinking about our rate, right? Which is our slope. So in the first equation, h of t equals 3t minus 6. H is the name of the function. T is our input. And here is our slope right in front of our input, 3, or 3/1. And looking in the graph, if we find some points, finding points that are right on the grid line, here's one, here's one, here's one, beautiful. And to go from one point to the next, we are going up 3 and over 1. So this has a slope of 3 as well. So these two functions actually have the same rate. They are both increasing at a rate of 3/1. Y goes up by 3, x goes over by 1. And that is our last little Kami example. So once you have all that filled in, make sure in this top right corner that you're clicking Turn In and turning it into Schoology. If you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, I will see you all in the next video. Nice job, y'all.